Hey, g'day people, it's Matt here from Matt Carves. In the workshop, here it is. I'm going to give you a spin tour of it. There you go. Look at that, I can talk at the same time. We're going to carve this today. It's a little Santa. I'm starting to get dizzy now. We're going to stop that. So it's a Santa and it's a tree, and I got the idea of Pinterest. Now here I am, I'm cutting out the template for it, and I'm doing it on the scroll saw. You could do it on the band saw as well, or you could use a hand saw, or maybe a, what other kind of saws could you use? A chainsaw. But anyway, so we're going to carve this today, and I'm just going to talk you through it, and here we go.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, don't cut it out with a chainsaw, that's just ridiculous. But yeah, you could use a handsaw, a scroll saw, or a bandsaw, or a jigsaw. And here I go, I am using one of the Dremel cutter burrs here, and I'm just sort of giving shapes to the tree at the moment. Just trying to work out how I'm going to do it. I sort of like go in and do sort of like little kind of indentations on these things, and I'm using those inverted cone burrs to make little lights. So I'm going to paint those red in the future, and I'm just carving in sort of like triangle kind of things. I kind of think they look like tree leaves. They kind of do. Stylized tree leaves, yeah. And one of my favourite cut saw burrs is this one here. It is the cut saw taper burr. Just really diverse what you can use it for. Here I'm sort of like just putting in where the eyes are going to go. Now you can sort of see here, this is a bit of a problem when you're carving on a flat surface, is the nose takes a while to form. So I carved in the eyes there, but I'm going to carve the nose in now and sort of just try and get that profile right. It's just a matter of sort of like taking one side back and then the other side, so then I'll put the eyes back in and all those kind of things. I think we've got that sorted now. Just going around the nose. Now with Santa, you gotta have a few different criteria. You need a white beard and a moustache, and you need big cheeks. And if you've got a red hat and a red suit, it just automatically looks like Santa. I like to go in with these tiny little burrs. This one's from Master Carver. It's a great little burr. Just sort of like putting in lines where details need to go. Now this is a really small face, so you've got to be aware that we're not going to be putting in massive amounts of detail. And when you're carving your one, just put in the amount of detail that you feel comfortable putting in. And if you can't carve eyes, sort of carve a big hollow there, or you could just carve what I've done there and paint the eyes in. Now just putting in where the moustache is going to go. It's looking pretty good. Another cutter burr. I don't know where that one's from, really, to be honest. I've got like a drawer full of burrs, and half of the ones I can't remember buying. But we are back to the cut saw taper burr. It's a fine taper burr. Now this wood is macrocarpa, so it's semi-soft. It's harder than basswood, I would say. I haven't actually carved basswood, but I just feel from watching on YouTube that it looks harder than basswood to me. And the Dremel cutter burr, really good for sort of like those sort of fine lines. I think that's in slow motion. It's a bit furry, this wood. And now I've got the Dremel wheel point burr on. Just really good for those little details there. Trying to get the nose a little bit rounder. You can sort of see those cheeks have kind of formed there. It's sort of like, it's sort of like roughing in the areas and then sort of like doing fine tuning on everything. So we've got those T-burrs. Now I've done a review on those ones, and if you're a regular subscriber, you've probably seen it. But if you haven't seen it, it's well worth checking that one out. And also along with that one, there's one on the inverted cone burrs as well. And these burrs are actually quite cheap from Amazon. And I wouldn't rate the quality of the burr, but they have really unique shapes, and they've got all different sizes. So I'm going down in a lot of sizes here, and I'm putting in sort of mustache hairs, and I quite like to have the mustache hairs different from the beard hairs, so it looks kind of like it has a good contrast, I guess you would say. It's looking pretty good there. And that's the Dremel wheel point burr. So I'm just going in and putting a pupil in. The eyes are really, really small, so you can't really afford to put too much detail in. And I'm going to try this one actually. I'm going to try and put eyelids in, but with that master carver burr. Now I'm just using the very edge of it, and you can sort of see I'm just going along the top one there and kind of got that in. Pretty happy with that. It's always good to turn the carving upside down to do the lower eyelid. It's about time I clean those fingernails actually. Right, okay, so just working on those eyelids still. You can see it's a really tiny, that eye. And now I'm using one of those inverted cone burrs. You could use a T-burr here as well. But just putting in lines on what is going to be painted white in the future. It just sort of gives it a little bit of texture. And now I'm going to put in a line going down. And you might ask why you would do this. It's so because the tree is going to be green and the center is going to be red. So I want a line to paint up to. I've got green for the tree and then red for those little dots. Those little lights there, and you can sort of see I've put in that channel there, so I'll just go up to the green with that. And over here I'm actually just going to be painting these white, those bits there, and I'm going to actually put wood dye on these ones just because I kind of think that looks a little bit more natural. I'll put the green on first because then you can sort of like go over the whole thing and then do the red over the dots. Of the lights, as you would call it. And the good thing is you can sort of see with that line there that I've put in, it's pretty easy to go up to that. And the wood dye, the red wood dye will be on the other side. Okay, so I've just wooded down some white and I'm just going to add it to the mustache and the beard and all those kind of things. Those there as well. Okay, so the Christmas tree is looking pretty good. I actually might put some snow on it, so I'll just dry brush it on. Oh, so because it's so thick, this paint, what I'm going to do is just maybe add a tiny bit of water. Now try and spread it out a lot on the little bit of tape there. Then I will grab my biggest brush and I'll just put a little bit on there, and then I'll just slightly go over. Kind of want it so it sort of only touches the tops. You know, if you don't like it, you can always just change it afterwards anyway, just paint over it with green again. Okay, so there is Father Christmas on that side and the Christmas tree on that side. Looks pretty good. You know, I could have taken more time and been more delicate on things, but you know, it is what it is. And yes, I know this looks absolutely terrible. But it does actually work out in the end. You got to trust it. This is a wax that I'm putting on. It's Gregorian mahogany coloured from Liberon, I believe. So I'm putting it on and then I'll wipe it off and then I will polish it up.
Okay, so what I'll tend to do is I'll tend to wipe it off, and then I have what I've been doing recently is In the packets where you get with your Dremel, you often get one of these ones, and it's a nylon brush bit, and you can polish it up with that. And here we go, we have got the finished work here. It does stand up, look at that. And there he is, Santa tree, Santa tree, Santa tree, Santa tree, Santa tree. I hope you're Santa tree, Santa.
And if you want to check out this video next, it is, well, it's another Santa.